Hi guys, it's your Island Girl and I'm back with another one for you today. And today we're checking on cheese, UK versus American cheese, the differences between the two. And I'm getting this one from Girl Gone London. The link will be in the description below. Please go over and show her some love. But before you do, don't forget to hit the thumbs up here and hit the subscribe if you're new here. To all my regular schmeglers, day one, to the pies, to the boost, come on in right back. Put a smile on your face and enjoy this one with your girl. All right? We're going to get right into this one because I've always heard it. UK cheese is way better than American cheese. The US cheese is no cheese at all, it is rubber. Let's find out what she has to say. Here we go, right about now.
Hi and welcome back to another Girl Gone London video. My name is Kaylin and I'm a dual UK and American citizen. And today we're getting cheesy.
Okay.
Literally. We are talking about cheese.
Yep.
And not just about cheese, but about the differences between UK and US cheese and what we use it on and how it's processed and what flavors we enjoy.
Okay.
A lot of you requested this after my potatoes and butter video, and as someone put it, keep going until we have all of the ingredients for a jacket potato. Now, before I educate you on this genuinely fascinating topic, please be patient because I did want to mention a couple of ways you could help support the channel if you're finding these niche topics, couldn't decide between niche or niche there, interesting. First option, leave a comment, completely free, helps tell YouTube you like the video, and unless you're mean, I'll probably respond. Second option, subscribe. Also completely free and helps tell YouTube you like the channel and you don't even have to interact with me if you don't want to.
That's true.
Thirdly, buy me a coffee, which isn't really a coffee, but rather a small one-time donation to the channel through the link I've put in the description, which is not free, but does go towards things like editing programs and hopefully some lighting equipment so I can spend more time on YouTube videos and less time selling my body to science or however else I can think of to make money that day. Okay. We cheddar get going.
Okay.
Okay, I can't. You guys, I'm sorry I tried with the puns. I'm going to leave that to you. You take care of the puns in the comments, and I will take care of an educational video about cheese so we can all stick with what we're good at because that's not me. Okay, first, some definitions. When I talk about American cheese in the video, for now, we're just talking about all the types of cheese made in America and considered American.
Okay.
We are not talking about the American cheese that you're thinking of, which, yes, isn't really cheese, and we will address that later in the video.
Oh.
Okay, difference number one between American cheese and British cheese is the culture surrounding it. Now, I'm not saying Americans don't enjoy cheese, but Brits love cheese.
That's what I hear.
Maybe not as much as the French, but a whole lot. My evidence is from my own experience, of course, no citation needed, but also from a story I found of a US citizen who went to a meeting in the UK for work.
Okay.
They state, I was in an all-hands meeting with the US and UK branches of our company, and we had an icebreaker question where we shared what our first job was. When I mentioned I was once a cheesemonger, the UK employees enthusiastically started sharing how much they love cheese, favorite cheeses, disliked cheeses, etc. They even asked questions about the job, and I ended up talking about the big cheese manual we had for recommending pairings. Their reaction was surprising because they're usually pretty reticent and stoic during these things. Anyways, it caught me off guard, and I just wanted to know if British people in general have a passion for cheese. And the answer is yes. In my experience, British people love cheese, and Americans are a fan of cheese, but not like that. Now, difference number two is a difference in where cheese fits into a meal. Typically in the UK, a cheese board can often be for after a meal. You would either order it at a restaurant or put a plate of cheese out afterwards when entertaining in your home to be sort of the finisher to the meal.
Oh.
In the US, cheese boards after a meal are not really a thing.
Nope.
If we do enjoy a platter of cheese or cheese and crackers, we would typically enjoy it before the meal. And that would mostly be if you were entertaining people at your house rather than what you would order at a restaurant.
True.
Difference three are the types of cheeses that are considered the favorites in each country. In America, the top list consists of cheddar.
Okay, so I have heard this so many times, oftentimes, that you guys love cheese, and you always tell me in the comment section, US have no cheese, what they have is rubber. And I concur. If that is a word. Because I don't eat American cheese. It has to be my cheese from Jamaica, and that's only it. And yes, don't come for me. It's a cheese in a can, but oh God, it's good. It is so good. And if you ever try, you will definitely agree with me. When it comes on to a platter of cheese, when she said it has to come before the main meal, if they do put it out, and like it's like something to keep you like an appetizer in a sense to before the actual meal start, not the opposite of what you guys do, like giving it at the end. But you guys have a variety of cheese, so this is interesting to hear. Let's continue.
Cheddar cheese, American cheese, mozzarella, Swiss, Colby Jack or Monterey Jack, provolone, Munster, blue cheese, and brie. In the UK, it varies by region, but you've got cheddar, red Leicester, Stilton, mozzarella, Wensleydale, brie, and double Gloucester. Please tell me that you pronounce it Gloucester, because I know that's how you do it in other contexts, but it can get tricky sometimes with British English place and cheese names. I think it's double Gloucester. There are over 750 cheeses produced in the UK today and just about 600 in the US, so safe to say the UK produces more types of cheese than the US, and also safe to say we will not be going into detail of each cheese type because I'm sorry to disappoint, but this is not a cheese channel. However, leave your favorite cheese.
Hold up. You guys have over 700 different type of cheeses in the UK? And your cheeses even have to do with different regions where they're from? Are you guys serious? What? Okay now. And it says 600, over 600 in the US, but the UK definitely still outbeats the US when it comes on to cheese. My word. That's a lot though. That's a lot. I didn't even realize there was so much in the US as well. Interesting.
In the comments, because obviously this is an important discussion that needs to be had. Now let's move on to cheddar cheese.
Cheddar cheese.
I've given up on the numbering system now. If you didn't know, cheddar cheese originates from Cheddar, a community in Somerset, England, with gorges and caves that farmers use to keep milk cool.
Oh.
The myth about cheddar cheese is that it came about because a milkmaid forgot about a pail of milk in one of the caves, and when she came back, boom, best invention ever, cheddar cheese. Take that, Robert Gare. To understand this reference, please watch my video on cardboard. So, of course, then people start loving cheddar. King Henry II bought like 10,000 pounds of cheddar in the year 1170 because why not? Queen Victoria received a giant wheel of cheddar that weighed more than half a ton as a wedding gift.
What?
Because nothing says congratulations in England like a wheel of cheese, clearly. Now, unlike some other cheeses and food products, cheddar cheese can be made anywhere in the world. It does not have to come from cheddar to be considered cheddar cheese. And when these British colonists came over to America, they made sure to pack their clothes, their kids, and of course, their cheddar making techniques. Because of this, America got in on the cheddar making processes early on in the country's history, but it wasn't until 1851 when the US made its biggest contribution to worldwide cheese consumption by opening up the first cheese factory in upstate New York. Before that, cheese making had been a farm process, but now it could also be a factory process capable of producing so much more cheese than before. Now, when it comes to the cheese making process, typically American-made cheeses are more mild than British cheeses, partly due to this process. For instance, it's more common in England for cheeses to be cloth-bound and open air or cave-aged, while many American cheeses are vacuum-sealed to age, which produces a more mild flavor. And then you have the fact that cheese needs milk from cows. And as we talked about in our video on butter, cows in the UK are often grass-fed, whereas US cows are often grain-fed.
Yep.
What goes into your cow affects what comes out of your cow and into your cheese. Also, I feel like what goes into your cow is what comes out of your cow is like a good title for a book or something I need to write. Anyway.
That's a good one. But I can see why. Now I get why your cheese is way better. And then it comes on to this money. Why? Because factory, farm, You understand? Yours stayed out. One is vacuum sealed. I'm learning here, guys, because I didn't know all of this. And not only to mention, the cows here are grain fed. I didn't even know that. And your cows are grass fed. American cheese is on the cheddar is more milder, and yours is more on the. So, but is yours gonna be? Of course, it's gonna taste better because the cow are eating what they're supposed to eat: grass. You understand? Shrubs, grass, not. Okay, let's continue. Oh Lord, let's continue, guys.
I do want to mention here that obviously there are more local cheeses and artisan cheeses made in the US. You've got like Vermont cheddar, Hudson Valley Camembert, Beehive cheddar from Utah. These will more closely resemble the British bar for a great block of cheese, and some have won worldwide awards. It's just that in the comparison we're making in this video, we're talking about more mass-produced cheeses.
Okay.
Now, where is cheese made? Most UK-made cheeses come from the western counties, as the west of Britain receives more rain than the east, making it good for dairy production. In the US, Wisconsin is still the main producer of cheese within the country, with California being a close second. Another difference in UK versus US cheese is the taste of the consumers of said cheese. There's no point in big US cheesemakers making extremely sharp or aged or smelly cheeses if the market doesn't demand it, and on the whole, the American market doesn't.
Which makes
American tastes tend to prefer more mild and creamier cheeses with less specific flavors, while British consumers, again, are arguably, and in my opinion, just factually into more intensely flavored cheese that is typically sharper and less mild. You could say this is because American palates are less advanced than the Brits when it comes to cheese, and that maybe if they were exposed to British cheeses consistently, they would then demand those. But as with everything on this channel, we have to take a look at the whole picture. So let's talk about how we use cheese in each country. As mentioned, typically cheese in the UK is enjoyed on its own. Literally picking up a chunk of cheese or slicing some off and eating that cheese, savoring the flavor, maybe on a cracker, possibly not. Of course, cheese is used in other recipes, as we know, but even when paired with other food, the taste of the cheese is special and is the accent flavor or the entire flavor. In America, even though we don't talk about and aren't as interested in being cheese connoisseurs as many Brits, we do like cheese, particularly when it's kind of smothered over everything, from macaroni and cheese to cheese fries to cheesesteaks to grilled cheese to nachos dripping with cheese to pizza with extra cheese. We're all about the quantity over the quality of cheese. And in that way, having a more mild flavor actually tends to work better and be less overwhelming. And again,
I love the way she put it. Spot on. We in America, when eating, it's not about quality, it's about quantity. To me, it's not when you talk to a US person about food, it's not necessarily about the awesome, it's the amount of food that is on the plate, period. So now talking about cheese, the you said the UK cheese, when you're eating it, it's more overpowering. It stands out. It doesn't matter what you pair it with, it stands out. When as in the US, it's on a milder side. So it's like it merges with whatever you're eating, or the cheese itself, you can't tell the difference if there's a cheese. It's just the creaminess of it, basically. When you think about it, that's where I'd go with it. The more I think about it, because they smother it on everything you can think of, to for real, everything you can think of. So if the UK cheese is that strong, then it's not as mild. Then you can understand why somebody would just get up and eat cheese, because they're cheese connoisseurs, pretty much, you know. All right, I'm learning here.
You can turn your nose up at general American cheeses and say you would never eat a single piece of cheese that wasn't properly aged in a cave in the middle of nowhere. But the American chowing down on their cheesesteak isn't really bothered that there are more intensely flavored and sharper and arguably better tasting cheeses across the pond.
True.
Another interesting way that the Americans eat cheese is local to Wisconsin and the Midwest, with Wisconsin being the cheese state.
Okay.
That's known as the cheese curd, which is a snackable, bite-sized chunk of completely unaged cheese, breaded and deep fried. It's basically baby cheddar, best eaten when the cheese is a day old, and they're extremely popular in this part of the country.
Oh.
Now, throughout this video, as I said at the start, I've used the phrase American cheese to refer to American-made cheese. Cheddar, Swiss, provolone, Colby Jack, whatever. Not what is often thought of as American cheese, because that deserves its own call out happening right now. Let's discuss it, because people have opinions, and you may have started this video being like, ew, why do Americans eat this plastic looking thing you can't even call cheese? And to be honest, you might finish this video thinking the exact same thing, but I'm here to see if we can spread some light on this American classic. So firstly, here's what American cheese is. And it is absolutely true that according to the FBI, the FBI I don't think cares about cheese as much.
She said it. I honestly wasn't expecting her to say it out loud. American cheese is like plastic. When I see, when you look at the cheese, like seriously, guys, when you pick up the cheese and look at it that you're buying in the supermarket, the ones that they do, the thin slice that's already, you just take it, if you make a burger or you make it whatever, you put it on it, and you hold it and you flip it like this. I'm telling you, it's literally plastic waving back and forth to you. And I'm like, how does people eat this crap? I don't get it. I cannot wrap my mind around it. I can't. They have one that they call string cheese. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, yo, yo. My kids don't even eat this crap. It is crap. I'm sorry. Don't come for me for them American regular schmegglers on here, but I can't see it. I can't wrap my mind around cheese here in the US. I just can't. I don't
know. According to the FDA, it is not actually fully cheese. It's called pasteurized processed American cheese. It's made by mixing cheeses like cheddar, typically, with preservatives like sodium citrate to create a cheese with a longer shelf life. And actually, fun fact, it didn't even start in the US. The original experiment with cheese and sodium citrate, this is not a chemistry channel, began in Switzerland in 1922 using Emmental. This was a means to try and make a cheese to export that had a longer shelf life. The process was then patented by a man named James Kraft, who, yes, is the Kraft of Kraft, whose goal it was to create a cheddar that was a shelf-stable product that could be stored with a longer shelf life. You may ask why that was even necessary, but it certainly came in handy during the World Wars when American cheese became a fantastic option to send to troops stationed overseas. Okay, we have this cheese that lasts longer because we've added some chemicals to it and processed it in a different way to normal cheese. But is there a point besides making it last longer? Actually, American cheese is different from many other cheeses in that the processing leads it to having a very stable form when melting. It has a very velvety texture without greasiness, and it stays gooey and soft. As a chef wrote in an article on SeriousEats.com, no other cheese in the world can touch its meltability or goo factor. And that's what it's really there for, texture. If I've taken the time to select and grind some great beef, I want that beef flavor to shine, not get covered up by a powerful cheese that would fare better on a cheese plate. Whether you agree or disagree, no one is suggesting that you put American cheese on a cheese plate or use it for much more than throwing a cheese slice at the kids on the way home from school or putting it in a mac and cheese or grilled cheese or queso. And I think many Americans themselves would agree with that stance and would not claim that American cheese is a superior cheese or is the world's best tasting cheese or is even cheese.
Are you sure about that?
It just serves a purpose. Then, of course, you've got things like Cheese Whiz and the cheese powder and Kraft macaroni and cheese that is so far processed, there's nothing really cheesy about it, and I can't really defend those. Now, can you find American cheese in...
Listen, the more I listen to it, I have to laugh. This is crazy because she is so right. I don't know how people make mac and cheese out of the pack. That sprinkling dust that they throw inside. That is not cheese. That is, the more you sit and you watch and you learn, guys, you'll be like, that's why people are so sick, man. Because listen, the whole point of it was to have a longer shelf life. And I understand the troops were away and they needed to get stuff and that's how it came into play. But Woo! And then she said from the chef what he said about he doesn't want to be eating a burger and just tasting that overpowering taste of cheese. He wants something gooey and melty and all just merge in to give that amazing flavor. I get it. But this is, to me, it's too much process going on, too much additives, man. Too much additives. Like I said, I didn't know it was made in Switzerland who started it, so that's new to me too. But it's interesting to hear how, I think I'm gonna disagree with her with saying Americans won't say their cheese is the best. I can't see them not saying that their cheese is the best cheese in the world. That knowing how they behave, they're gonna take that title as well.
In the UK or vice versa. I feel my British audience are sitting at their computers right now, breathing a sigh of relief that American made cheeses are not popular with British grocery stores. You can find a couple, but with so many great British cheeses, they are not looking to import American cheeses in bulk anytime soon and are quite happy to let the Americans have them. However, for Americans watching who haven't seen inside a UK grocery store, you should know that they do sell what are typically called something like cheesy singles in most stores in the UK. These are cheese slices with the same consistency as American cheese and are specifically typically sold for burgers.
Okay.
Now, many American grocery stores do have more international cheese sections, and you can find many British cheeses in many American grocery stores, as they are popular for the more cheese and crackers type of dinner party crowd. They will be more expensive and might not be in a standard grocery store in the middle of rural Oklahoma, but definitely around the country, there will be specialty areas within grocery stores to get your fix of some British cheeses if that's what you're looking for. Now, I feel like we've been through a lot together in this video already, and I feel like, honestly, I could make a part 2 of this video very easily, covering even more cheese differences to help us see how the two countries eat and make and use cheese differently. Because safe to say, it's pretty different. There are a lot of funny threads online with Americans like discovering British cheese and how amazing it is, and wondering what they've been missing out on. So it's clear that the winner overall when it comes to cheese quality has to go to the Brits. No questions asked. But I hope in exploring some of the American cheese comparisons, you've come to learn a bit more about American cheeses and the culture surrounding cheese there, because as with many things we uncover on this channel, usually there are reasons why things are the way they are, and understanding this nuance is one of the first steps in understanding why Americans are putting this floppy, mild-tasting, not really cheese on their sandwiches and enjoying it. And if you want my personal opinion, as someone who has lived in both the UK and the US for long periods of time, I'm a huge fan of British cheddar. But if you want me to make a grilled cheese sandwich, I'm 100% using a fake cheese slice every single time, and I will not apologize. Now,
she said, listen, if I want a cheese sandwich, a grilled cheese, I'm using the plastic. I'm not using the UK cheese, the British cheese, not one bit. She's not playing. She's like, look, don't come for me. And to put it on my burger, I'm using the American plastic cheese. That is messed up. No apologies. That's funny. But like she said, the British cheese outbeats the US cheese. Period, point blank. And she said she likes the cheddar as well. But and then she also said that she have read that Americans discovering British cheese didn't realize it was so amazing. So there you have it. The UK cheese outbeats the US cheese. But she's right. It's literally plastic. And yeah, I understand. So the question I was gonna ask before, almost before the end, was like, so you guys don't make that plastic cheese as well, those single slice? But she showed that you guys actually do for putting on burgers as well. So you guys also have processed that kind of processed cheese. Maybe I'm thinking it doesn't have as much ingredients as what you have here in the US, but you do have it. Very interesting video, I might add, but it all boils down to the fact that the UK cheese, British cheese, is way better than US cheese. Period, point blank. I can't wait to try it myself. And yes, she's right. When you go into certain stores, there's a cheese aisle in. I'm going to ask them if they have any British cheese and what they have and try it. Maybe I can do a video with it on here. You never know. It's the Island Girl that I'm running out here. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like, guys. It's free. Hit that like button. It helps YouTube to tell you that you like what you're watching and they can push the video out. You don't know. It's the Island Girl that I'm running out here. Be good, be kind, be safe. Love each other. And yes, Araya's eyes is looking good. She's doing okay. She's resting right now. So thank you guys so much for your love and support and your kind words. We truly appreciate it. Love you guys, and we'll definitely see you guys in another video. Bye.